Bourbon Barkeep Lounge. My name is Curtis. If you are new here, we do just blind battles. I do a little randomizer thing. It tells me what to pick out of the box. These two little vial things. I pour them, we score them, and we try and be smarter. Take that for what it is, just however you feel. On to glass A. If you can go ahead and like and subscribe, that would be pretty sick. Like Mash and Drum's journey to, I think he's at 100,000 subs. We're on our journey to few less. So some would say we appreciate the click more. Class A, on the nose. Wow. That is, whew. My mind's going to Angel's Envy cast strength. This is like port and chocolate, like Hershey's chocolate syrup, a lot of cherry. No, the Luxardo cherry. Man, that's a lot of, this has got to be finished. Has to. I mean, even the color. That's so much wine. It's got to, could it be sherry? I don't know. Yeah, that Luxardo cherry or even like a cherry cordial chocolate is heavy. And wine, whether it's port or sherry, I don't know yet. I want to find out. Ooh, ooh. Wow. There was like 3 waves of pretty obvious tasting notes. First one, oak, right off the bat, heavy oak. Then went right into like this cherry cordial. And then that chocolate, this dark chocolate espresso bean is still on my tongue. Wow, that is an experience in itself. I wonder how long I could sit here and still have the cherry chocolate covered espresso bean sit on my tongue. Dear God, what is that monster? Whew. All right, here for this. Really enjoy whatever this is. Yeah, I'm gonna go back for sip 2. Thank you. You know when you wish you can go back to a moment and experience it for the first time? Like when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer in the Avengers, what one, Endgame? Is that Endgame? I can't, there were so many. But remember that moment? And you had the goosebumps? I wish I could experience that absolute just attack of 3 tasting notes because I really enjoy all 3 of those tasting notes. Second sip, it was not as boom, boom, boom. This one was a little more altogether. And I really enjoyed it still. This is so much chocolate, so much coffee, and I like it. Trying to get behind the curtain a little bit, you can convince me some root beer. I feel like that root beer is just lingering on the tongue, and I love root beer. And Twizzlers, this is like if you were to take me to go see Avengers, since we'll just stick with that topic, sit there and have this. This is like having the Twizzlers, the root beer, and the chocolate while watching Chris Evans. And I'm here to watch Chris Evans and Hemsworth. As it does kind of sit on the tongue, it's so heavy chocolate. Everything's going to be chocolate related at this point, but kind of like a mint chocolate ice cream. There's like a really nice bright sweetness as you know, like when you exhale and you're like, oh, I kind of taste something. It's kind of like that, as weird as that, you know what I'm talking about. Like a mint chocolate ice cream on the exhale, which is kind of fun. I don't know what's in Glass B, but this is an absolute heavyweight battle, and I don't know if Glass B is a heavyweight just yet. Judging by the color, it at least has weight, medium plus weight. Okay, that's a lot of vanilla. That's like you open the jet puffed marshmallow. Chocolate's here too. What's not here is the wine, which I never answered, and I'm not going to because I don't know. Deep dark brown sugar, some banana in there, and some plum. This one is much fruitier, still with just like drizzles of chocolate and marshmallow on it. But this one definitely goes much more fruity. I don't think I named any fruit on the last one, did I? Twizzler, does that count as a fruit? I like it. A little bit of leather in there to kind of add to complexity. This one goes sweeter, even though the other one, yeah, I just got a lot more wine. So that went a little richer, a little drier, I guess, on the nose. This one smells sticky. That's a smell, right? Sticky? Here we are. Ooh. A lot of coffee. A lot of chocolate, a lot of coffee. Some sweetness in there, like a caramel syrup with a chocolate syrup drizzled on black coffee. Not the grounds, like it's a smooth coffee, high quality coffee, maybe an AeroPress coffee if you're fancy. I like that. That's enjoyable. Much sweeter. The vanilla comes through a lot more. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be preference, which it always is, but you know, you like them to be a little more spread apart, because when you're scoring things by 1 point apart, you get a little nervous on what bang for the buck's gonna do. All right, well, sip 2, down the hatch, here we are. Sip 2 is great. I would think this is a little more approachable. It's a big pour, it's a chewy pour, it's a fat pour. This is even a sweet pour, especially coming from glass A to where I felt like that was pretty desserty. This one's sweeter. This is kind of like, you know, my bus driver growing up. You would show up, she's sitting there, she just, hey, good morning, how are you? You're just like, wow, you just have a sweet soul, and you're large and in charge. It's kind of like that. Kind of here for this one though. Man, this one's gonna be tough. All right, so where we go from here? We got some scoring to do. We do senses and bang for the buck. So Bourbon Barkeep, we throw a little extra at you. So we got the experience, the taste, the reminiscing, like a bus driver that was way too big for that seat and seat belt sometimes. But I digress. Then we do bang for the buck. What do these actually cost? Because if these are $200 pours, is anything worth $200? Probably not. So we'll find out what the price is, and then we do a little math, and then we crown a winner. So stay tuned for that. Boy, I took a little longer selfishly with those 2 pours, because those were delightful. They're 2, I wouldn't say very different pours, so I'll try and recap the experience. Glass 1, a little bit more wine on the finish. Like I felt like it was a little more port or sherry or something along those lines. That coffee and chocolate continue to come through. The root beer continues to come through. I loved it. I'm not a big stout beer fan, but you can convince me there's some stout beerness to it as well. And I'm pretty sure that's technically what they call that tasting note as well. Glass B, it's like dessert in a glass. Rating these is gonna be impossible. And I can already tell you, it's coming down bang for the buck, no question. And if they're the same price, we're gonna have problems. I'm just gonna sit here and flip a coin. Glass B, the sweetness goes into that marshmallow, that banana, the chocolate. There's still like a nice smooth coffee to it. The vanilla marshmallow comes out much stronger to where the other one just goes dark, and it's great. I think where I'm gonna have to go is when it comes to glass A, senses wise, I think it's gonna edge out glass B, and here's why. Glass A as close as these are going to score, Glass A is going to take it, because I think Glass A would pair incredibly with a cigar. And you know, I get donated some samples. Sometimes they make it on here because it's random, and sometimes they just sit in the box. This one, it reminds me a lot of Lucky 7, that holiday, that double oaked, because it does have that cranberry, like that wine kind of finish. I think sherry or port, I just don't know. But like that cranberry starts to come through, you could convince me it's kind of that holiday vibe. So maybe that bottle. I don't try and guess because I just want it to be blank slate, but man, that pour is fantastic. Glass B, on the other hand, this is how close this is, and it's going to be pure preference on your tasting palate, because there's not a lot of heat on either of them. The viscosity and the finish and how it hangs around is just fantastic. It's going to be 82. I mean, you're talking 1 point, and that's pure principle, because I can't sit there and score them both 83. Are they into the fantastic category? Maybe I'm being too hard. But either way, these guys are neck and neck, and I love both of those pours. So if one of these is gettable and one is not, this is easy stuff. All right, so looking down, I gotta figure out the price. I'm not revealing the bottle just yet. Getting into Google Forms, we got our prices. Battle, $145. Glass A, $65. I mean, it's not cheap. Glass B, $55. Oh man, that's tough. I mean, you can always go back to, okay, well, these are so close, like just take the cheaper one. That being said, I think the experience and the tasting notes are so different to where if you were a big wine person, big cigar guy, I would definitely lean Glass A even with the $10. That being said, if we're talking just Glass A, just $65, I easily get my money's worth, and I'd probably pay more. I also now just figured out that it's not the Lucky 7 bottle, because that's not $65. So, you know what? That's what you get for guessing, you know? Here we are. All right, 65. Let's rub it in. I'll go 77. That tells me I easily got my money's worth at $65, and I would probably pay more. I love the experience. I'm still gonna stand by it. It has to be finished, and if it's not, this was a fun ride, but there's no way. Well, there is a way. All right, Glass B. We said $55, and if it's that close at 65, it's got to score better than 77. So we'll just go a smooth 80. I mean, at 55, that's a buy every time I see it. God, I hope if these aren't available, I'm going to be upset. Okay, so now I get to click the drop down, reveal to myself. You all know the spiel at this point. Let's see what we got. Not Lucky 7, not Angel's Envy, which I did kind of back off. So to save face, I'm going to say I did not officially guess that. So you can't prove it. The Sagamore Spirit Rye Double Oaked. Man, that's good. And just Old Faithful / Old Forester is the correct label. 1910, they're double oaked. That's so much better than what I thought. And remember, I mean, we drink a lot of whiskey on this channel, as you've seen. You start revisiting some of these bottles and you start realizing there's phenomenal bottles on the shelf every single day. I get the limited editions, I get the allocated, but man, both of those bottles would pair great with a cigar. I would lean Sagamore, but they both deserve a spot. I will say, Sagamore's bottle, that's one of the best bottle designs on the market. You can take that to the bank. Outside of that, like, subscribe. I gotta fit that in real quick because you're about ready to exit out, and I can't have that yet. So the like, subscribe, very key. Journey, monetization. We need a whiskey budget because the wife is upset. She's not happy anymore. The bottles add up, and then we don't finish them because we need them for the channel. So if you just quick subscribe, we won't tell anybody, and it's free. It helps win-win. Just like buying these 2 bottles. It's a win-win for both you and the distillers. Wrapping up, that's it. We finished up. Thank you.